Hey everybody, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina, K-R-I-S-T-I-N-A. This is where we read book and talk about books. No special effects going on here. No theme music or anything else like that. So please like and subscribe. Let me know I'm doing a good job. As of this video, I've lost 5 subscribers this week. So who knows? And I have yet to reach 200. So it kind of hurts a little. And I can't find my shirt. I have looked high and low for my shirt, and I can't find my shirt. I'd rather be in locked up in a library all night T-shirt. I can't find it anywhere. And I've done 2 loads of laundry, and it wasn't in any of theirs. I don't know where it is. I gotta find it. But anyways, don't forget Flashback Mondays. Every week it's about this time. And Star Trek Fridays, and If Then Fridays also. You know, I'm a series person. I like to read series. And during the week, we're doing Victoria Thompson, James Patterson, and a few others down the pike. I've got an unboxing coming. I've got some boxes sitting on the dining room table that I haven't even opened. I don't even know what's in them. So anyways, as we know, this is my most favorite magazine in the entire world. There is no better magazine than this, in my beliefs. They did over 278 reviews in this magazine. If you watched my comparison video between the magazines, you will notice that this magazine does actually books that I will read, maybe that you will read too. Historicals, romance, contemporary, inspirational, harlequins, erotica, paranormals. The other ones, they stick to a specific genre, or there's a couple of them that do literature. And we want to read romance novels. We want to read Mary Baylor. We want to read Victoria Alexander or Julia Quinn or Joanna Lindsay. We want to read these people. We don't want to read some stuff from India or Africa, or maybe you want to if you're going to travel or something. But the average woman in the United States, I'm pretty sure, likes a good harlequin, or likes Kingsbury, or Tammy Hope, or Kathy Reichs, or Tess Garrison, or Heather Graham, or any of these ladies, or, you know, my vampires. Those magazines are not going to do vampires like my romantic times will do. And so this is September of 2009, and this magazine is still as valid today as it was in 2009. You can still find books to read. You can still find series to read. You can still find authors to read. These are still valid today. And I love this magazine so much that I have to share it with you. And I almost, you know, I'm kind of disappointed in myself because I don't buy books as often and as in quantities as I used to, and I got rid of quite a few of them. And I'm really, as I've mentioned previously in these videos, that I've discovered which ones I'm missing now, and I really regret giving them all away. There you go. So my Jane Feathers and Hannah Howells and quite a few I've discovered. I'm like, I have that, and then I'm like, oh no, I don't. I gave it away, and it's just been so depressing because I've been trying to buy some of them back. So we're going to start with, I almost picked this book up the other day, but I decided not to. But just to show you how valid this magazine is today as it was back then, as it's talking about a very popular book today. The books are popular today as they were back then. Tell me your kids or your friends or you have not read The Hunger Games. When word hit RT office that Suzanne Collins was game to meet for an in-person interview, our excitement was so great that the four when really one would have sufficed, showed up to meet the author of the last year's extraordinary young adult novel, The Hunger Games. As we jostled into the room at the Javits Convention Center during Book Expo America to meet Collins and be honest to secure advance copies of her sequel, Catching Fire, out this month from Scholastic, the author graciously accepted our fawning compliments before sitting down to dish. It overwhelms me, she says, of the success of The Hunger Games, the book which debuted at 9 on the New York bestseller list last September and stayed on the list ever since, has become something of a phenomenon. At the publishing conference where we talked to Collins, Catching Fire was considered the book to snag out of the thousands available. And these books are still in circulation today. You can still go into bookstores and buy them. You can still go into thrift stores and buy them. They show up all the time. We have a few at the shop this week. That's why I said I almost bought one just to show you. But these books are still valid today. People are still going to see the movies today. Their kids are still reading these books today, just to show you how valid all of this is. I'm extremely happy it's found an audience, and I'm really a more diverse audience than I anticipated. My father-in-law likes it. Lucky for fans, Collins isn't letting success spook her. Instead, she's just concentrating on writing. As to penning a sequel to such books, the author says she didn't let the buzz bother her, mainly because of her publishing schedule. And there are three or four books in this series. So, I mean, that just goes to show you how valid this is today. But I also wanted to, they did now I can read this magazine for hours and hours, and I probably went through it about 6 or 7 times just for this video. And that was something I was gonna do. Go get the Irish books, but they do a whole thing on Irish, and it's September. They should wait till March to do this, but there are a slew of Ireland books nowadays, especially cozies. So Romance 101, why your favorite novels are worth of college study. Let me say that again. Imagine getting college credit for reading Nora Roberts or Jennifer Cruz. Some lucky college students are doing just that in universities across the country, as professors become convinced of the literary and social merit of studying what we've been reading for pleasure for years. The reasons popular fiction and popular romance novels are worthy of universal level scrutiny are obvious to some. Well, gee, a billion-dollar industry of women operating independent businesses, generating a narrative product for more than 60 years for billions of women. There's nothing worthy there. I can see single thing. Nope, jokes Sarah Wendell of the blog Smart Bitches Trashy Books. And yet we've all experienced the stigma that goes with being a romance fan. But now there are university professors and snarky bloggers here to defend our beloved tombs. Romance is easy to underestimate. It's routinely underestimated, said Pamela Riggs, who literally wrote the book on the subject. Her 2003 treatise, A Natural History of Romance Novel, is considered by many to be the go-to resource on the genre for the academic set. Regis, a professor at Maryland McDaniel College, tackled why the romance novel has the strange honor of being the most popular but the least respected of the literary genres. It's true. And there's a couple of pictures of, I used to have these, and again, these are the ones I got rid of, Kathleen Woodis and Jennifer Cruz. Let's see. New author spotlight: Lynn Anderson, Leanne Renee Hyber, Margaret Matter, and Neil Mulligan. There you go. Nonfiction pick of the month. Gothic Charm School, Gillian Venters. There's more to being a goth than throwing on some Victorian garb, pointing your nails black, and calling it a day or night. How do you dress with morbid flair when going on a job interview? Is there such a thing as growing too old to be goth? How do you explain to your grandma that you're not just going through a phase? Gillian Venters, aka the Lady of Manners and the voice of the popular blog Gothic Charm School, has penned the quintessential guide to dark decorum for anyone who's ever searched for beauty in dark, unexpected places, embrace their individuality and revel in decadence, and for their friends and family who just don't understand. For Venters' take on everything goth, check out her Harper's release. There you go. And so this magazine did Regency historicals first. We did the Hunger Games, and then contemporary and historical, and oh, that's one I missed for. I did a werewolf's if then the other day. I missed this one. Deborah McGillivray. Revenge that was Trey's goal when he first set sights on Raven, and a delicious revenge it would be. He and his two brothers had each selected a Montgomery sister to seduce and destroy, and his quiet granddaughter of his enemy was perfect. She lived in a simple cottage in the English countryside, painting and socializing only with gypsies, menagerie of misfits, and cats. Okay. There we go. I missed that one. But anyways, let's get on. Look at all these historical romances they did. You don't see other magazines doing that many. And it's sad to say that I had some of these and I don't have any of these anymore. So, let's see. Okay. Casey Michaels, How to Tempt a Duke. Got 4.5 stars. She's always going off, regardless of the time of day. Michael's new Regency miniseries is a joy. This wonderful storyteller combines passion, humor, emotional intensity, and depth of characterization with a devastating secret and attempted murder. She makes it all work and shows how the power of love can overcome. You will laugh and even shed a tear over this touching romance. After 6 years of fighting a grueling war, Captain Raphael Daughtry returns to England to take up his duties as the Duke of Ashurst. At first, Charlotte Severs doesn't recognize her childhood friend, and it takes a moment before Rafe realizes that the woman before him is Charlotte. All grown up and as outspoken as ever, Rafe turns to the no-nonsense Charlie to guide him through his new responsibilities as the head of the household. Their childhood friendship soon evolves into something more. Charlie has always loved Rafe, but she keeps a shameful secret. Now she must let go of the past if she is to have a future with him. But accidents could mean danger and even murder for Rafe and Charlie. Tessa Dare. Surrender of a Siren. Four and a half stars. Dare's second novel cements her place as a not-to-be-missed author. Her gift is for creating stories that are filled with adventure, three-dimensional characters, and exciting plots. Yet she maintains the purest form of romance. There is the siren who lures you to surrender to her delicious story. After jilting her fiancé, Sophia Hathaway flees London aboard Benedict Grayson's ship, posing as a prim governess. All Sophia wants is to sketch and paint, free of society's constraints and obligations. The unconventional miss is unprepared for the depth of emotion and wanton fantasy Gray ignites. Now that he's a ship owner, Gray hopes he's left his reputation as a rogue behind. Yet Sophia awakens both feelings of both protectiveness and conquest. He'd love to seduce her into his bed, but how does a gentleman go about seduction? As they brave the sharks, fire, storms, and the vagaries of the sea, Sophia and Gray must discover a powerful passion and deep love. Ah, Siren. Mary Blaney. Stranger's Kiss. Four and a half stars. Following the acclaimed Traitor's Kiss and Lover's Kiss, the new installment in the Pen Stand saga is a emotionally charged story of revenge, loss, passion, and redemption. Blaney plays readers like a virtuoso, allowing laughter, tears, and every emotion in between to claim your heart. Linford Penstan, the Duke of Merrion, is out for revenge, and he will have it, whether in a duel or a ballroom. He must destroy his enemy no matter what. But in a secluded library, he meets a stranger, a woman who understands the meaning of loss. One small kiss of consolation leads to much more. Renowned singer Elena Ferrano is grief-stricken over her husband's death and comes to England to find solace. Her unexpected encounter with a stranger unleashes a torrent of emotions. Elena and the Duke begin to rouse from their grief, helping one another and falling in love. But the Duke's shame to avenge a lifelong injustice and his love for Elena clash and threaten their chance at happiness. Oh, I didn't write that one down. Okay. Melody Thomas, Beauty and the Duke. Right there. 4 stars. Thomas brings a powerful duo into a tale with unique backdrop, brilliantly combining a dinosaur hunt, a murder mystery, and a love story. Readers may be fascinated with the paleontology, the mystery, or the romance. Each holds its own allure, and together they create a memorable addition to the Mystic Bliss series. Once they were young lovers, but time and circumstances have taken Christine Summers to far-off places, searching for the fossils of prehistoric beasts, while Eric Boughton, the Duke of Sedgwick, has been twice widowed. Rumor has it that he's cursed. When the remains of a dinosaur and some human bones are found on his property, Eric needs Christine's help, since she has no fear of the so-called Devil Duke or the curse. Christine travels to Scotland and begins an excavation. Together they dig up the past and rekindle their passion. But as pieces of both the dinosaur and the woman are uncovered, they are drawn into a darker mystery and deeper passion. Jerry Russell, To Tempt a Night. 4 stars. Russell begins a new series with a wonderfully thought-provoking, emotional, insightful glimpse into what it meant to be a Templar knight after the order was outlawed by the French Church. This highly charged romance portrays the emotional agony of a stalwart hero and the woman who comes to love him. Medieval enthusiasts will thrill to this adventure love story and its conclusion. Sir William Keith, one of the surviving Templars to escape France, returns to Scotland and is commanded to retrieve a holy relic and protect Lady Siobhan, daughter of Templar charged with guarding the treasure. While trying to retrieve the relic, he is also compelled to protect and aid Lady Siobhan in finding her father. As they locate the treasure, William and Siobhan's emotional feelings escalate, even though William had made a vow of celibacy. William begins to understand the non-literal interpretation of his vows and clarify his conflict emotions. And I get a little carried away with historicals because they're mine. Gayle, Karen, never marry a stranger. 4 stars. When Callen's latest apart from the usual hero returns to find himself married to a poser, romancers are the intelligent, likable characters who don't fall into the trap of foolish misunderstandings. They think their way through this situation as their love grows. After being wounded in India and presumed dead, Captain Matthew Leland makes a miraculous recovery and returns home to discover his wife happily ensconced with his family. Intending to unearth the reason why Emily Gray, a woman he met once, would take advantage of the Lelands, he plays along with her charade. He quickly realizes she's sweet, caring, witty, beautiful, and surprisingly honest. In other words, a perfect wife. They begin to desire a true marriage, but Emily's ruthless enemy is attempting to blackmail her, forcing her to steal from Matthew. Let's see. One last one. I know I've gone on way too long with the Regencies. I just love Regencies so much that I get carried away. Come here, come here, come here, come here. What did I do with it? What? Royal's Bride. 4 stars. Book 1 in Martin's new Bride trilogy is a story of forbidden love, revenge, betrayal, and redemption. Readers will be thoroughly enchanted by the spirited characters, sizzling passion, and suspenseful plotting. After years abroad, Royal Dewar returns to find his father dying and the family fortune depleted. As the new Duke of Bransford, he agrees to a marriage of convenience with a beautiful heiress, but it's her lovely and penniless cousin, Lillian Moran, who stirs his passion. And it is Lillian who helps him find the scoundrel who swindled his father. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. The shame to get back his money is bold and dangerous and thrusts Lily and Royal together constantly. They become lovers, even as Royal's engagement draws near. When Lily is captured by the enemy, Royal realizes he must save her and make her his forever, no matter the cost. Okay. Now I could do all of these. I love all of these. They did so much. Let's see. What did I do here? I had about 15 more to go through the region. I can't do them all. Oh, I didn't get that one. Oh. Huh. Wait a second. Let me look. Debbie MACOMBER. 4 stars? 4 stars. Could have been in there. Oh, there it is. 92 Pacific Boulevard. 4 stars. Returning to Cedar Cove is always enjoyable. MACOMBER deftly combines sweet romance and a breath of suspense without losing the homespun charm that's been delighting readers for years. Sheriff Troy Davis is still in love with his high school sweetheart, Faith Beckwith. Both are now widowed and they briefly reconnect when Faith first returned to Cedar Grove, but a series of misunderstandings broke them up. Now Faith's being terrorized by vandals and is considered leaving town again. This time for good. Troy knows he has to act quickly before he loses her forever. But Troy has his hands full with other matters. A body was recently discovered, and there's a reason to believe foul play was involved, all of which has the mayor breathing down his neck and Troy wishing life could be simple. Okay. They also have a teen section. Show that to you. They do the Catching Fire. I think there's a bigger display of it someplace. But, Collins racks up the tension in the second book in the Hunger Games trilogy, 4.5 stars, with a host of well-drawn new secondary characters and more lives on the line. After winning the first Hunger Games, Katniss and Peeta have settled into a well-fed but uneasy life in District 12. As rumors of rebellion in other districts gain strength, the Capitol uses violent, unexpected tactics to show its power over the subjects, particularly the 2 young victors who so openly challenged them. And Terry Brooks, Princess of Landover. 2 stars. Just 2. Popular fantasy author Brooks returns after nearly a generation to Landover, a magical land accessible from our own. Brooks' prose is reliable, straightforward. His young protagonist clearly has plot immunity, while Brooks' habit of having a convenient supporting character pop in to push the plot in right direction further undermines any tension the book might have had. The result is an inoffensive but rather dull novel. Teenage Mystra is the daughter of King Ben and his wife Willow. When her rebellious nature gets her expelled from school in our mundane world, her parents struggle to find a place for her to learn the skills a princess needs. Mystra flees, seeking anatomy and sanctuary. Too cunning by half, she ends up at the ancient and decrepit library that her father was planning on sending her to. The library has its dark secrets and villainous curator to match, but the princess will prove to be more than equal to the challenge. Hey, I like libraries. Irene Hanna, Eye for an Eye. Inspirational, 4.5 stars. Oh, you know what? I just realized. No wonder I can't see. The long-anticipated sequel in the Heroes of Quantico series does not disappoint. Hannon continues to bring her own special brand of suspense and romance to this genre. The winning recipe provides readers with characters that are engrossing, a plot filled with unexpected twists, and a love story that will melt your heart. The only downside to this terrific novel is that you won't want to put it down. A chance encounter between Dr. Emily Lawson and FBI hostage negotiator Mark Sanders is cut short by a sniper attack. The former childhood sweethearts are rushed to the hospital, brought together under the worst of circumstances, and they soon learn that each carries scars from haunted past. Before they'll be in the battle of their lives, a gunman with a thirst for vengeance lurks in the shadows, and it's a race to find him before he successfully finishes his task. Mindy, let's see, Janice Thompson first. Fools Rush In. 4.5 stars. This wonderful start to Thompson's new series, Wedding Bells by Bella. The author does a fantastic job of creating a wacky yet caring family that the reader will want to be a member of. The hilarious and warm moments throughout the story will have readers looking forward to another visit with the Rossi family. Bella Rossi is a 29-year-old single woman who just took over her family's wedding planning business. Her first wedding is country-themed, which she knows nothing about. When she hires a DJ, she's surprised to find out that the man named Dwayne Jr. knows nothing about disc jockey. This is his first of many comical mishaps that happened before and during the event. Will the boot-scooting country couple get the wedding of their dreams or a nightmare? Kim VOGELSAWYER. Kim VOGELSAWYER. 3 stars. Sawyer's latest novel provides rich detail about establishing farm in 1872. It takes the reader through every step from building side houses to planting to the fields and harvesting. The reader can feel the children's joy and wonderment at each new discovery and Henrik's torment at leaving his homeland. However, Lillian re-embraces of life in Gnadfield and of Reinhardt slow the story down and make it seem longer than it is. Reinhardt and Lillian decide to leave their home in Russia when their oldest son Henrik is nearing military draft age. They migrate to Kansas with their 3 sons and Reinhardt's brother Eli. During the journey, they experience tragedies that cause Lillian and Eli to make a decision that neither wants. Alright, let's move on here to romantic suspense. Roxanne St. Clair, Hunt Her Down, 4.5 stars. At long last, second-in-command bullet catcher Dan Gallagher gets his romantic comeuppance, but as the hunt for stolen loot heats up, so does the danger and passion as Dan's past comes back to haunt him. This fast-paced treasure hunt is prime installment in St. Clair's red-hot and sizzling series. 14 years ago, while working undercover for the FBI, bullet catcher Dan Gallagher was instrumental in taking down drug dealer Eli Verhaeghe. Dan's sources of information was Maggie Verchuk, the young girlfriend of El Verhaeghe's son Raymond. After the arrest, as far as Maggie knew, Dan died in the shootout and she was left pregnant and alone. Now El Verhaeghe and Raymond are out of jail and looking for a missing fortune and vengeance. Fearing for Maggie's safety, Dan heads down to Marathon to warn her. When Maggie discovers Dan is still alive, the passion between them remains explosive. Maggie also has a secret. Her son Quinn is Dan's son. Interesting. Brenda Novak, The Perfect Lair. Okay. Well, it would be nice if I wrote it down. Oh. Hold on a second. Brenda Novak, the perfect liar. Here. Drawn in Blood. I know, The Perfect Liar. Brenda Novak, 4.5 stars. The newest installment of Novak's latest Stand series is disturbing and occasionally macabre, with a psychopathic villain who is fascinating as she is repulsive. Hurting over the death of his best friend in Iraq, Air Force Captain Luke Trussell loses himself in alcohol in the arms of Sergeant KIELY Harner. As far as Luke concerned, it's a one-night stand he'd rather forget, but the next morning he's awakened by base security officers and told he's been accused of rape and assault by KIELY. The accusation is just the beginning of Luke's ordeal. KIELY contacts victims' rights advocate Ava Bixby for help finding evidence to convict Luke. Ava's investigation doesn't go as expected. It turns out that Luke is squeaky clean, but KIELY is deeply troubled. Ava winds up working with Luke to clear his name. So I don't remember seeing this one, but anyway. One more. Laura Lee, Heat Seeker. I used to have all these. The latest in the Elite Ops series, readers, if you're familiar with the others, but it stands very well on its own. Plenty of action and plenty of heat drive, a plot line that moves like a sleek summer movie. You can really feel the emotional turmoil of both main characters, as well as have fun with the Ops spin-off. 10 years ago, Bailey Serbone had a wonderful night to remember with another agent, Trent Dalen, but later that night, Trent was killed on a car explosion. 5 years ago, while tracking the killer, Bailey was kidnapped and then freed by unknown terrorists. The mystery group took out the assassin, but not his boss. Now Bailey has had enough and is determined to stop the mastermind who killed her lover and maybe even her parents. Soon she's dealing with the arms merchant John Vincent, whose kisses are disturbingly like Trent's. But Bailey is determined to have her revenge, and nobody will stop her this time. Alright. Kathy, as you know, and we're going to go through this series. This is another one of the series that we'll do this year. Bones. Have you watched Bones? If you saw If Then, Patricia Cornwell, we talked about Kathy Reichs, Temperance Brennan, the TV series Bones. I like the TV series because Bones and Booth's relationship they were worked in one place. In the books, Temperance travels all over the place, and the romance isn't front and center. I like solving a good mystery, but I like I would have, because I got to the TV series first and then discovered the books. I prefer the little tete-a-tete of the TV series, but the books are good. They're entertaining. They always solve a mystery. There's some extra family stuff that you didn't know in the series. She's got a teenage, later in the books, the kid's like 20. She's going into college, and an ex-husband and a bird. The bird's funny. The cat's funny. So there's some interesting stuff in the books, and they're worth good reading. So it's 206 bones. Reich's singular heroine is buried alive in her new Temperance Brennan adventure as Tempe struggles to survive and escape. The events that led to her imprisonment are revealed. This method adds an underlying urgency to unfolding events. 4.5 stars. When Tempe regains consciousness, she's tied up, wounded, and realizes she's been imprisoned in a long-forgotten tomb. As she frantically looks for a way out, her memories of recent events slowly turn. Tempe on her off-again, on-again lover, Lieutenant Andrew Ryan, who is Booth in the TV series, travels to Chicago, accompanying Bones discovered in Montreal. Tempe and Ryan believe they've discovered a serial killer in Montreal who preys on elderly women. Meanwhile, Tempe discovers errors or missing items in her work, which concerns her. Is she really making these mistakes, or is someone trying to sabotage her? Oh. Beverly Barton. Silent Killer. 4 stars. Try to do it this way. See? I'm horrible with this. Pain and madness runs silent and deep through the killer in Barton's newest disturbing offering. Besides the serial killer storyline, Barton continues a plot thread involving previous protagonists Nick and Griffin. People react differently to trauma, and Barton does a chillingly excellent job showcasing some extreme examples. Although filled with sadness and horrifying violence, this novel also focuses on the hope of second chances. 18 months after her husband's murder, Kathy Cantrell returns home, determined to get her teenage son, Seth, back and restart her life. Kathy suffered a nervous breakdown after her Minster husband Mark's fiery death, and her in-laws have custody. Jackson Purdue is back in town as the new deputy sheriff, and the first cold case he's handling involves the unsolved murders of 2 preachers, but the case becomes hot when a preacher is murdered in the same gruesome fashion. Bing, 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 bing. 9. She always goes off during videos. Always goes off during videos. I guess I'm not in favor of getting the back. I'm getting the back. Okay. Airtime. Hank Phillippe Ryan. There you go. 4 stars. A follow-up to Ryan's 2 popular next titles, the book as well plotted and clever as the others. Told from heroine Charlie's first-person perspective, it's often humorous but also has the insights of a woman of a certain age. En route to meeting with an informant called the Prada PI for a piece on counterfeit handbags, TV reporter Charlotte McNally goes off in pursuit of what she thinks could be a scoop on another story. Discouraged when the lead goes nowhere, Charlie is approached by a woman with a business card for a company called Designer Doubles. Charlie and a producer decide that going undercover at a purse party is a better angle, and it is. But the time investment places a strain on her relationship with Josh Gelston, her English professor boyfriend who's making noises about moving in together, not to mention making her vulnerable to the people behind her fake handbag scam. Interesting. Murder at Longbourn. Oh, get rid of this now. Oh, it's still wet. But anyways. Tracy KIELY, 4 stars. The biggest accomplishment of KIELY's debut novel is that it leaves the reader wanting more. Amateur sleuth Elizabeth Parker and her odd assortment of friends and family are ripe for a series. Although the author delivers quite deeply into her characters' lives, there's still much to learn. Jane Austen's fans will thoroughly enjoy the cerebral mystery. Elizabeth is in the midst of making life-changing resolutions when she receives an invitation to Aunt Winnie's New Year's Eve how-to host a murder party at her aunt's Cape Cod B&B. Elizabeth recently discovered her boyfriend was cheating on her, so a change of scenery is much needed. But when she gets to the Cape, Elizabeth is dismayed to discover her old childhood enemy, Peter McGowan, is helping her aunt run her business. To make matters worse, someone is actually murdered at the party. The police suspect Aunt Winnie, and Elizabeth's resolutions are on hold as she tries to protect her aunt and find the real murderer. Greg Iles, The Devil's Punch Bowl. 4.5 stars. Bestseller Iles has come up with an electrical novel of sex, violence, and political corruption. in a small southern town, terrifying because of its very real possibilities. This suspense, satisfying, riveting read will keep you in the wee hours. Former Houston prosecutor Penn Cage has now an even more difficult job, mayor of his hometown of Natchez, Mississippi. The city is fading from its former glory, and like many Mississippi, has turned to casino gambling and steamboats to raise revenue. But the rumor has it that the Magnolia Queen is turning to new entertainment to bring the international high rollers, dogfighting, and dark sexual processes. Trying to get the goods and the perpetrators, Penn inadvertently ends up putting his life and family safety on the line. As he finds corruption among local authorities, he can count on the help of only a handful of people in a bloody battle of wits against men who will do anything to keep the money flowing. Ugh. All right. See. Didn't write. Oh. Janine Bentley, spackled and spooked, amethyst sleuth. Laden with red herrings, likely and unlikely suspects, and witty couple who always have each other's back, this charming read with an unlikely villain. With the crowd of unusual characters, this book could have been much funnier. However, as always, there's a list of useful home renovation tips at the back of the book. Former designer Avery Baker hooks up with her gorgeous boyfriend Derek Ellis to flip houses in their small town, Maine. They buy a neglected little tract house which is rumored to be haunted by a ghost of the murdered occupant, and the project comes to a grinding halt when Derek digs up a skeleton in the basement. If the duo has any hope of flipping his house, they're going to have to find out who the skeleton used to be. Interesting. Contemporary. Pamela Britton. Oh! I did, or thinking of doing. I didn't do it. I think I'm doing it. I'm going to do it. Did you know that there's a whole sequence of Harlequin dedicated to NASCAR? And we will get to that. But here we go. Pamela Britton, Slow Burn. And it's obviously NASCAR. Britton creates another fast-moving, heart-trending romance where love triumphs, even in adverse conditions with flashed-out characters. Even the good guys and the ones that aren't so good are easily to cheer for. Appropriately, the bad guys get his due. When Dana Johnson discovers that her abusive fiancé has been taking credit for her work behind her back, she breaks her engagement right before their wedding. She has never seen a NASCAR race, but her friend Alyssa invites her to see one. She sees it as an escape from the after effects of her decision. Dana is shocked when she wins the contest, Alyssa taking her into entering, and the prize is to date NASCAR driver Braden James. Determined not to go through with it, she finds Braden and his sponsor, MyLoveMatch.com, who has convinced her otherwise. Now Dana is falling for the hotshot driver who is also a vulnerable former foster kid. Aww. Julia London, Summer of Two Wishes. 4 stars. London delivers a heartbreaker of romance about a woman stuck in a love triangle. Her characters continue to be crafty and very real. One of the strengths of the story is that either man could make a good choice, neither in the bad guy or the knight in shining armor. If the story wraps up a little Ghibli, we forgive her because all we want this kind of ending for our vets. When Macy Lockhart determined her husband Finn died in Iraq, her life exploded too. After 3 painful years, she has finally rejoined the living. She has built a solid marriage with Wyatt, who cherishes her. It might not be the transcendent love of her old life, but it is good and she loves him. Then her husband, who had been a prisoner of the Taliban, is alive and coming home. Not only does the service want her to go to Germany to meet him, they also want her to go on talk shows with him, so America can greet the hero. As she spends time with both men, she makes the hardest decision of her life. No matter what she does, she must hurt someone. Adrian Bird, Queen, right there. 4.5 stars, Queen of His Heart. Readers will love this comedic timing of the heroine and her best friends as they muddle through the ups and downs of dating and finding love. The story is fresh, fun, and the love scenes are deliciously spicy. Jalia Goodwin, an internet celebrity with a popular video blog where she talks about the travails of finding a good man, is fed up with the guys that she's meeting, so when a hotshot Hollywood producer approaches her about hosting her own reality show to find her dream guy, she agrees. Kenan Armstrong unofficially meets Jalia having lunch with her friends. He almost chokes when one of the women makes a cheeky comment. Kenan is struck by her beauty when she rebuffs his approach. When he learns about her video show, he decides to build a TV show around her, much to her surprise. Okay. Now, some Chrissy books here. We will do her one day too, and we will talk about the Me Too movement in this book. Seriously. 4.5 stars. Feared and derided through much of the series, Dragon Seeker Raven is about to have the truth about him revealed. In the shattering novel, The Incompatible Feehan tells the story of two protagonists who have suffered unimaginable horrors. The power of Feehan's life-mate concept is fully explored in the pages of this mesmeric art novel. For Carpathian fans, this is a game-changing book that is packed with horrifying danger and unconditional love. Nearly killed by vampires in league with hellish mage Xavier, Carpathian Ivy Malvo survived only to learn her brothers had become vampires. After centuries of torturous healing, Ivy now hunts vampires with the aid of her wolf pack. Imprisoned, his actions controlled by his grandfather, Xavier Raven has a losing battle for centuries. Now close to death, he only wants to die. When Ivy discovers the wounded man, she is stunned, for although he is linked to her mortal enemy, he is also her life mate. Right. What a Dragon Should Know, G.A. Aiken. There we go. What a Dragon Should Know. 4 stars, 4.5 stars. Using her patented blend of sexy and outrageous humor, Aiken gifts readers with the saga of the delightful vain dragon Gwenville, the handsome and her newest heroine, a crafty liar who uses knowledge as a weapon. The wonderful, wacky, and preserved nature of Aiken's stories and characters are guaranteed to produce laughs. Few in his family take Grenville seriously, but his very pregnant sister-in-law, Quinn Allen, has an important assignment for him. Grenville is to be her representative in brokering alliance with the Northlanders and the Beast. Turns out the Beast is actually the very human Dagmar Reinhold, whose clever mind and shaming have helped protect her father, the warlord Reinhold. To Gwenville's shock, bespectacled Dagmar appears immune to his devastating good looks. She does, however, respond to his crafty nature, melting his repressed young woman in a task Grenville relishes. Unfortunately, there is treachery afoot that could imperil both of them. Okay. I seem to have missed one. Let me back up here. Where was it? I don't think it was. Was it there? All right. Why did I take this book out? Why did I look at this book. I have no idea. Why did... Or maybe it was one of my other... I am planning a couple of if-then... Huh. Oh, this says it was historic. I thought it was historic. Let me look. We all make mistakes. I'm human. You please have to leave. You know, I've talked about how bad, you know, my audio is poor, my video is poor. This shirt looks purple in my, I don't know how it looks while you're seeing it, but it's black. But it looks purple in the, I do not know why I got this book. It's not reviewed. Oh, well, so anyway, let's move on here. I had these. I don't know where they are. I was kind of pissed off when I couldn't find them. To Crave a Blood Moon. Cole's next supernatural adventure focuses its sights on the brother of a previous hero. 4 stars. Her intriguing novels explore a dark and bloody world, but it is also one containing honor and hope. The stakes are life and death for these protagonists, which means readers are in for a credible ride. While tracking a pack in Turkey, devout Lycan hunter Sebastian Santiago is captured and tortured. Head of the pack, Gunter wants to use Sebastian's bloodline to create a super race. With Sebastian uncooperative, Hunter decides to up the stakes by starving him, in hopes his beast will attack and kill a young woman thrown in his cell. Ruby Durex is an empath who agreed to help chaperone a couple of foster teens on a trip to Turkey. When the girls sneak out, Ruby follows, only to discover a nightmare of death as the Lycans slaughter everyone except her. Ruby is tossed into a dark cell with a man whose emotions threaten to overwhelm her. In order to survive, Ruby and Sebastian must find a way to control his beast. I love paranormal. If you don't know that entire section back there is all paranormal books. Entirely. Alright. Retribution, 4.5 stars. The 5th book in the exceptional first-person Anna Strong series is a powerful entity in an amazing saga. Fans will also appreciate the appearance of a character from Stein's short story. A call from shapeshifter friend Kulaba sets Anna up on a path toward devastating consequences because she's been trying to balance a human life with her supernatural one. Anna has been ignoring requests from Williams, a leader in the supernatural community. Then Dangerous Witch Belinda Burke brings Culebra to the brink of death. Desperate, Anna agrees to look into the draining of some young vampires in exchange for Williams' help. And I just talked about this the other day in my werewolf series. The Hunting Ground, 4.5 stars. Charles and Anna Cornwick are back in the latest Alpha and Omega novel, and this time they're forced into that hazardous of occupations politics. The timeline in the offshoot but no less extraordinary series runs slightly behind the Mercy novels, and it maintains focus in the world of werewolves. Anna really comes into her own. It's not much of a honeymoon for newly mated werewolves Anna and Charles. They are needed in Seattle to negotiate with European wolves on Brian's behalf. Since their existence in the already open secret with the U.S. government, Brian has decided to take his werewolves public. European wolves led by Jean Castle object and negotiations are arduous. When Anna is attacked by a group of vampires and other wolves' mate is murdered, it becomes apparent someone is bent on sabotage. Pleasure. Oh, look at that. An advanced copy. Don't even know where I got it. In the latest Shadow Dwellers, Frank splits this tale into 2 tracks, following different storylines that merge at the end. Frank exercises her own unique brand of spicy sensuality, and it blends seamlessly into dangerous political drama. Got 4 stars. Poisoned and kidnapped by minions of the evil traitor Arcadian, Penance Priest Saga is saved by an unlikely source, a human, natural-born witch named Valeria. Valeria has retreated to Alaska to avoid the law of dark magic. By using magic to save Sagan, Valeria exposes herself to the priest who should destroy her. But the passion that arises makes that impossible. Shadow Dweller Chancellor Myla is being pressured to marry, but the only man who stirs her heart is her bodyguard. Okay. Christina Dodd, Storm of Shadows, 4 stars. Dodd picks up the action right after events of the previous book in her Chosen series, sending her unusual suspecting bookworm heroine into treachery and danger. As the conflict heats up, so does the passion. Until now, Chosen Aaron Eagle has used his gift of turning to mist to assist his career as a thief. With the destruction of their previous headquarters, the remaining untested Chosen are scrambling to uncover the prophecy that may help their quest. Like her father before her, Rosamund Hill is an antiques librarian, antiquities. Although her deceased mother believed in the Chosen Other's legend, Rosamund thinks it's a myth, before she gets tangled up with the all-too-sexy Aaron, that is. For a woman who pays no attention to her looks and doesn't date, Rosamund is a bit surprised to have 2 sexy men interested in her. Some MM. Gina Showalter, Intertwined. Bestseller Showalter begins an epic new young adult series, loaded with supernatural drama. There are times when the plot gets in the way of the natural character development, but despite this, the series' future looks bright. For as long as he can remember, Aiden has heard voices in his head, each with its own personality, labeled as schizophrenic by doctors. No one understands the power each personality holds. One raises the dead, another time travels, one predicts the future, and one can take over another living body, and Aiden must deal with the fallout of these actions. Interesting. Rochelle Mead, Blood Promise. Mead's exceptionally fourth Vampire Academy book takes a darker and more somber turn. While the majority of the action occurs away from the Academy and the book's first person, Mead cleverly maintains a window on school events. Having lost her beloved Dimitri by Sturgo, Rose has abandoned both St. Vladimir's and her responsibilities to her marrow best friend Lisa. Rose and Dimitri had sworn to each other that they would rather be dead than Strigar, and Rose is determined to keep her promise. When she travels to Russia and Dimitri's homeland because of their shadow kiss bond, Rose is able to peek into Alyssa back at the Academy. Something is off, but what? Okay. And Witchcraft. Caitlin Kittredge. Utilizing her impressive stirring talent chops, Kittredge has created a hard-headed heroine with a passion for justice. Nocturne City is under attack, and the battle to save it will include plenty of strange creatures and supernatural mayhem. In charge of the supernatural crime squad, St. Luna Welder gets no respect, which makes her one cranky werewolf. She starts an investigation into a suspicious fire and ends up under attack from some unusual supernatural assassins. With more dead bodies and fires turning up, Luna also must deal with sexy but hugely annoying ATF agent Will Fagan. Will has more than passing interest in the witches cult that may be behind this chaos. Interesting. Alright, so let's move. Oh, wait a minute. I missed one. Oh, I want to read this. Oh, this is what okay. And why did again? I know it's not. Why did I get this book? It might have been for. It might have been. Well, if it's not here, then that means it's one of the books I wanted to read. So it's not here. So I meant it for something else. So that's 2 books. So I think I did everything. All right. Our last thing we're gonna hit on real quick is before I have to go kiss and make up because I got the back here. I could do all of these. I loved it. I could sit here and read every one to you. It would take a few hours. I love this magazine so much. But there's also some erotica in here, and I used to own quite a few of these, but I got rid of them all. But the Harlequins. Let's do this real quick here. Look at all the Harlequins they did. Do you see any of those other fancy magazines doing that many Harlequins? And who knew? You have to watch my Harlequin If Then series. Who knew? There's Harlequin American, Harlequin Blaze, Harlequin Intrigue, Harlequin Presents Extra, Harlequin Romance, Harlequin Super Romance, Harlequin Kimi Romance, Silhouette Romance, Silhouette Nocturne, Silhouette Romantic Suspense, Silhouette Special Edition, Steeple Hill Love inspired historical, Steeple Love inspired suspense. And they're all, I didn't realize, one is for cowboys, one is for doctors, one is for billionaires, one is for heroes, one is for normal people, one is for NASCAR people. There's all different kinds of Harlequins. It's amazing. I did not know that all these existed. But it was just, I got this magazine for over 10 years, and it's just amazing. So anyway, Campaign for Seduction. I just had it. Where'd it go? I just had it. If you notice, one cannot sing. Okay, there it is. Campaign for Seduction. And Christopher, scorching hot love scenes, an intimate look at campaign press, the heartbreak of Alzheimer's, and the fishbowl existence of political figure make this story a keeper. Senator Jonathan Warner is aware of the downfall of combining romance with politics. When he's attracted to Lisa Wilson, a Washington correspondent for a TV network, he wonders if he should risk building a relationship with her. Lisa has trust issues, so her focus is on her career, not a love match. She also has her father's care to worry about and whether she's doing right by him with the amount of traveling her career requires. Let's see. The last 92. Celestia Norfleet. Right there. There it goes. When It Feels So Right, 4 stars. Set in Juneau, Alaska, and featuring characters and generations of trust, issues, and problems, this is the type of story that requires plenty of time to get lost in the characters. Joanna Butler has been hired to write the biography of Jacob Buchanan. His grandson Andre has been encouraged by his public office seeking further to thwart her. To keep the misdeeds of the family patriarch a secret, Andre plans to seduce Joanna to keep her from the task, but the mission backfires. Yes, ma'am. Come here. All right. The last one. Meet Me in Paris, right there. I just added Simone Taylor. Taylor shows her talent for 4 stars. Taylor shows her talent for character development by fashioning Kendra Forrest into a character readers will cheer for. Despite her actions throughout the story, the author keeps readers wondering how the characters are going to form a bond, given their seemingly irredeemable start. Kendra meets new boss Trey Hammond and loses her job when he discovers she's embezzled money from him. She apologizes and tries to explain, but he won't let her. Kendra proposes a different kind of arrangement to unpack his home and to thwart his loneliness he was trying to hide. He lost his wife years ago and hasn't allowed himself to feel anymore. So, anyways, so those are all the books we did. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, 25. We did over 30 books. So I hope you enjoyed Flashback Monday. This is the best magazine in the world. That's the front. That's the back. Inside cover. Philippi Ryan. You just Annette McLean. We talked about her. These books are awesome. Absolutely awesome. So you'll have to check out this magazine. It's just the greatest in the world. I love it so much. And I hope I covered some of your books. If there's a specific category you'd like me to focus on, I will. Please let me know. Please hit the like and subscribe. I've lost all my subscribers this week. So please hit the like and subscribe. Thank you.